A massive warship Imperial Pride floated at the edge of marked space. Its hull gleamed purple under distant stars. Commander Vex stood on the bridge, his forearms crossed behind his back. The Callan Empire had conquered 1,000 worlds. Today, they would add one more. "Sir, we are approaching the border markers," said Lieutenant Tor from his station. The young officer's tentacles twitched with nervousness. Vex's 3 eyes narrowed as he looked at the simple beacon floating in space. It broadcasted a message in multiple languages. Terran space. Do not enter without permission. Final warning. These humans think too highly of themselves, Vex said. His voice echoed through the bridge. One small planet, barely space-capable for 2 centuries. They dare to claim an entire sector? Admiral Krell watched from his command throne. The old warrior had led countless invasions. His scarred face showed no emotion. "The humans have sent 3 diplomatic warnings, Commander. Protocol suggests we should respond." "Protocol?" Vex turned sharply. "We are the Callan Empire. We do not negotiate with primitives who still use chemical rockets." The bridge crew murmured agreement. The Empire's plasma drives and quantum shields made them superior. What could humans possibly do against such power? "Sir, detecting human vessels," reported Tor. 3 ships, small class. "There." "Sir, they're cargo freighters." Laughter filled the bridge. Cargo ships against a battle fleet of 50 warships? The humans had sent merchants to face warriors. Captain Rex of the human freighter Mountain opened a communication channel. His weathered face appeared on the main screen. He looked tired, wearing a simple gray uniform. "Callan Fleet, this is Captain Rex. You are entering restricted space. Turn back now." Vex stepped forward. "Human, you dare give orders to the Callan Empire? Your 3 cargo ships against our fleet? Move aside or be destroyed." Rex sighed deeply. He rubbed his forehead with one hand. "Look, friend, I don't want trouble." "Nobody does. But you really need to turn around. This is your last chance. You threaten us?" Admiral Krell stood from his throne. His massive form towered over everyone. "We have conquered the spiral arm. Your species still argues about which economic system works best." "Stand down." "Not a threat," Rex said quietly. "Just fact. You cross that border, and things get complicated. We've been real patient. 3 diplomatic warnings. 2 fleet redirects. We even sent you a gift basket. Remember the cookies?" The Empire had received the gift. They'd thrown it away, insulted by the gesture. Who sends baked goods to a warrior race? "All ships advance," ordered Admiral Krell. "Destroy those freighters if they resist." Rex shook his head sadly. "Don't say we didn't warn you." The transmission ended. The Callan fleet surged forward, crossing the invisible border into Terran space. Their sensors detected nothing special. No hidden fleets. No defense platforms. Just empty space and 3 retreating cargo ships. "Pathetic," muttered Vex. "They run at the first sign of—" Every alarm on the bridge screamed at once. Tor's tentacles went rigid. "Sir, I'm detecting ... This can't be right." The readings show space itself seemed to bend. Where there had been nothing, suddenly there were ships. Not 3. Not 30. 3,000 human vessels materialized from nowhere. They'd been there all along, hidden by technology the Empire couldn't even detect. But these weren't warships. They were mining vessels, colony ships, research stations, and yes, cargo freighters. Lots and lots of cargo freighters. Admiral Krell studied the tactical display. "They're civilian ships. We can destroy them easily." A new voice crackled over the communication system. "Admiral Krell, this is Admiral Jones of Earth Defense. You've entered Terran space without permission." That was unwise. A human woman appeared on screen. She wore a simple black uniform. No medals, no decorations. She looked like an accountant, not a warrior. "Your civilian fleet doesn't frighten us," Krell declared. Admiral Jones smiled slightly. "Oh, these aren't our military vessels, Admiral. These are just the folks who happen to be in the neighborhood. Our actual fleet is ... elsewhere. Now, about your trespassing. The fine is 1 million credits per ship, per minute. You've been here for 2 minutes with 50 ships. That's 100 million credits. Will that be cash or credit?" The bridge fell silent. This had to be a joke. The humans were actually trying to ... find them. Admiral Krell's laughter boomed across the bridge. The sound made junior officers flinch. "You want to find the Callan Empire? Your species has courage, human, but courage without strength means nothing." Admiral Jones remained calm on the screen. She pulled out a tablet and started typing. "Actually, Admiral, it's standard procedure. Section 47B of Terran Space Regulations. Unauthorized entry incurs fees. We're very serious about paperwork. Enough of this nonsense," Vex snarled. He turned to the weapons officer. "Target the nearest freighter. Show them what happens when they mock the Empire." "Weapon systems locked," confirmed Lieutenant Dar. His clawed fingers moved over the controls. "Ready to fire on your command." "I really wouldn't do that," Jones said. She didn't look up from her tablet. The insurance claims alone would be a nightmare. "Fire," ordered Krell. A brilliant purple beam lanced out from the Imperial Pride. It struck the human freighter boulder square in the hull. The beam should have vaporized the ship instantly. Instead, it splashed harmlessly against an invisible barrier. The freighter didn't even shake. Silence filled the Callan bridge. Tor checked his instruments 3 times. "Sir, that single quotes S... impossible. Our sensors show no shield generators on that vessel." Jones looked up from her tablet. "Oh, that? Yeah, funny thing about humans. We really like insurance. Every human ship, even the tiny ones, has full coverage. That includes protection against acts of aggression." "What kind of shields are those?" demanded Krell. No known technology could stop a Callan plasma beam so easily. "Shields?" Jones looked confused. "Oh, no. That's not a shield. That's just standard hull plating. We mine asteroids, Admiral. Sometimes those asteroids explode. We build tough ships." Before Krell could respond, every human vessel in the area turned toward the Callan fleet. They didn't aim weapons. They just ... turned. 3,000 civilian ships, all facing the 50 warships. "Now then," Jones continued, "let's discuss your options. Option 1, you pay the fine and leave. Option 2, you don't pay the fine and we impound your ships. Option 3, you continue attacking and things get complicated." "Complicated?" Vex stepped forward. "You keep using that word. What exactly do you mean?" A new figure appeared next to Jones on the screen. Captain Rex from earlier. He was eating what looked like a sandwich. "Hey there, Commander. Remember when I said things would get complicated? See, humans have this thing about bullies. We really, really don't like them." "All ships full attack," Krell commanded. "Destroy every human vessel. Show them the might of the Empire." 50 warships opened fire at once. Purple beams, quantum torpedoes, and disruption waves filled space. The light show was spectacular. Any normal fleet would have been annihilated. Not a single human ship was damaged. The cargo freighters didn't even move. They just sat there, absorbing enough firepower to crack a moon. "How?" whispered Tor. His voice shook with fear. Rex finished his sandwich and wiped his mouth. "Want to know a secret? Humans didn't spread across the galaxy by being warriors. We spread by being really, really good at not dying. Every asteroid miner, every long-haul freighter pilot, every colony ship captain, we all learned the same lesson. Space wants to kill you. So we got really good at saying no thanks to dying. The human ships began to move. Not aggressively, just repositioning. They formed a perfect sphere around the Callan fleet. Still no weapons powered up. Still no threats. Just 3,000 civilian vessels casually surrounding 50 warships. "Admiral," said Jones, "I need to inform you that you've now been in Terran space for 5 minutes. That's 250 million credits. Also, attacking civilian vessels adds another fee. Call it an even 500 million. This is absurd." Krell roared. "We are conquerors. We do not pay fines." "That's fine," Jones said. She typed on her tablet again. "I'll just forward this to the Department of Collections. They're very thorough. Very, very thorough." A junior officer on the Callan bridge spoke up nervously. "Sir, I'm detecting something. The human ships. They're scanning us. For weapons?" Asked Vex. "No, sir. They're scanning our cargo holds. Our fuel reserves. Our ... Our credit accounts?" Rex grinned on the screen. "Like the Admiral said, the collections department is thorough. They're just checking what you can afford to pay. Don't worry, they offer payment plans. Very reasonable interest rates. The Empire had conquered through fear and force. But nobody had ever tried to audit them before. Asterisk." Admiral Krell slammed his fist on the command throne. The metal dented under his strength. "Enough games. Launch all fighters. If their freighters won't burn, we'll board them and take them apart from the inside." 500 fighter craft erupted from the Callan warships. Each fighter was a masterpiece of military engineering, capable of incredible speed and agility. Their pilots were elite warriors, trained from birth for combat. The human freighters didn't launch fighters in response. Instead, they opened their cargo bays. "What are they doing?" asked Vex, watching the tactical display. Small objects poured out of the human ships. Thousands upon thousands of tiny spheres, each no bigger than a sporting ball. They spread through space like a glittering cloud. "Mining drones," said Rex on the communication screen. He had started eating another sandwich. "We use them to break apart asteroids. Very efficient. Very precise. Completely automated." The Callan fighters accelerated toward the freighters. The tiny drones moved to intercept. What happened next defied military logic. The drones didn't attack. They simply got in the way. As fighters tried to maneuver, drones would appear directly in their path. Not aggressively, just present, like trying to fly through a cloud of intelligent gnats. "Get these things off me," shouted a fighter pilot over the com. His ship spun wildly as 12 drones casually attached themselves to his hull. They weren't damaging anything. They were just there, clinging like barnacles. "They're not weapons," reported Tor, studying his sensors. They're actually repairing microfractures in our fighters' hulls." "They're what?" Vex stared at the screen. Jones nodded from her position. "Standard safety protocol. Any ship in Terran space showing hull stress, it's automatic assistance. It's only neighborly. Of course, your fighters can't really maneuver with repair drones attached. Safety first. The fighter squadron was completely neutralized. 500 elite combat craft defeated by helpful repair robots. Some pilots tried to shake the drones off. The drones would detach, then immediately reattach, determined to fix every tiny imperfection they found. "This is humiliating," growled Krell. "Recall the fighters. Prepare the planet cracker weapon." The bridge crew gasped. The planet cracker was the Empire's ultimate weapon. It could shatter a world into fragments. Using it here, in open space, against civilian ships? It violated every treaty, every rule of war. Sir, said Lieutenant Dar carefully, the planet cracker requires authorization from the Empire's High Command. I am authorizing it, Krell snarled. These humans mock us. They treat the mighty Callan Empire like common criminals. They will learn respect through fear. The Imperial pride's belly opened, revealing a massive cannon. Energy began to build, crackling with destructive power. The very fabric of space seemed to warp around the weapon. Rex stopped mid-bite of his sandwich. For the first time, he looked serious. Oh, you're going to do that. Okay then. He pressed something off-screen. Every human ship suddenly went dark. Their engines stopped. Their lights went out. 3,000 vessels just turned off. Ha! Vex laughed. They flee in terror. They know they cannot stand against the planet cracker. Not exactly, said Jones. Her video feed was still active, apparently on backup power. We're just getting out of the way. What's about to happen isn't our responsibility. What do you mean? Demanded Krell. Space rippled behind the Callan fleet. Not ships appearing this time. Something else. Something vast. It looked like a moon at first. A small metal moon that hadn't been there seconds before. Then details became clear. It wasn't a moon. It was a ship. A single ship the size of a city. What? What is that? Whispered Tor. Jones checked her tablet. Oh, that's Bob. Bob? Well, technically, it's the Terran Automated Defense Platform, Robert B.O.B., but everyone calls it Bob. Bob doesn't like weapons of mass destruction. Bob especially doesn't like them in Terran space. The massive construct moved forward slowly. No weapons visible. No threatening gestures. It simply approached the Callan fleet with the inevitability of a tide. Open fire. Screamed Krell. All weapons on that thing. The fleet fired everything. Beams, missiles, projectiles. Even the planet cracker itself. The weapons struck Bob and ... nothing. They might as well have been throwing pebbles at a mountain. Bob extended what looked like tentacles. Not weapons, just ... appendages. They reached out toward the Imperial pride with surprising gentleness. Bob's going to disarm you now, Rex said, finishing his sandwich. Don't worry. Bob's very careful. Bob likes to fix things, not break them. Bob's tentacles wrapped around the Imperial pride with unexpected care. The massive appendages looked like they could crush the warship instantly, but instead they moved with surgical precision. Hull breach on deck 7, shouted Tor. Then he paused, checking his readings again. Wait ... no. The hull is intact. Bob has... It's phased through our armor? On the main screen, they could see Bob's tentacles inside their own ship. Crew members stood frozen as the massive appendages moved past them, not touching anyone, searching for something specific. It's heading for the planet cracker, reported Lieutenant Dar. Krell stood from his throne. All security teams to the weapon bay. Stop that thing. Security forces rushed through the corridors. They found Bob's tentacle already there, carefully examining the planet cracker. The tentacle had manifested what looked like tiny hands, thousands of them, each no bigger than a thumb. The security chief reported overcome. Sir, it's not destroying the weapon. It's taking it apart, piece by piece. Very carefully. On the bridge, they watched in horror as Bob systematically dismantled their ultimate weapon. Not violently, not aggressively. Like a patient teacher taking apart a dangerous toy that a child had brought to school. It's sorting the pieces, Tor said in amazement. It's organizing them by material type. For recycling. Rex appeared on screen again, this time drinking what looked like coffee. Bob really cares about the environment. Waste not, whatnot. Those materials from your planet cracker will make excellent housing modules for the colony on Europa. This is impossible. Vex pulled at his head tendrils in frustration. We are the Callan Empire. We have conquered 1,000 worlds. Yeah, about that, said Admiral Jones. She pulled up something on her tablet. We looked into your conquest history. Very impressive. You've defeated the Vorthan Confederacy, the Zealot Kingdoms, the Republic of Kar, all warrior cultures, all focused on military might. As it should be, growled Krell. The strong dominate the weak. Sure, Jones nodded. But here's the thing. Humans went a different route. While you were building bigger guns, we were building better insurance policies. While you were training warriors, we were training lawyers. While you were conquering worlds, we were filling out paperwork to make sure everything was properly documented. Bob finished disassembling the planet cracker. The tentacle withdrew, leaving behind a neatly organized pile of sorted materials and a receipt. A receipt? Krell grabbed the paper from a crew member. This says, "Thank you for your donation to the Terran Recycling Initiative. Your contribution will help build 17 schools and 2 hospitals." The other Callan warships tried to help their flagship. They fired on Bob, but the massive construct didn't even notice. It had started humming. The humming was somehow worse than any battle cry. "Sir," said Tor quietly, "I'm detecting more signatures." Many more. The tactical display updated. 50 more city-sized constructs were approaching from all directions. They all looked slightly different. One was painted bright yellow with what appeared to be a smiley face. Another had Greg written on its side in letters the size of buildings. "Those are Bob's siblings," explained Rex. "There's Bob, Greg, Alice, Steve, Margaret. She's the purple one. Dave, other Dave, and about 43 others. They're all very protective of Terran space." "This is insane," whispered Vex. "Your entire defense strategy is based on automation and bureaucracy?" "Don't forget the lawyers," added Jones. "Speaking of which, you've now accumulated approximately 3 billion credits in fines. Also, Bob's dismantling of your weapon has revealed several violations of Galactic Treaty 7, Section 9, Subsection J. I'm afraid we'll have to report this to the Galactic Council." The Callan Empire had never been reported for anything. They were the ones who did the conquering, the threatening, the destroying. They weren't supposed to get ... sued. "If we leave now," Krell said through gritted teeth, "will this end?" "Oh, of course." Jones smiled brightly. "Just need you to sign some paperwork acknowledging the fines, agreeing to a payment plan, and promising not to enter Terran space without proper authorization. Form 77B, I believe. Tor, I'm sending it to your console now." Tor looked at his screen. It's 900 pages long. "That's just the summary," Jones said helpfully. "The full document is available if you need it. Only about 40,000 pages. Very comprehensive. The mighty Callan Empire, defeater of armies, conqueror of worlds, was being defeated by paperwork and helpful robots. Asterisk. Admiral Krell stood in the ruins of his reputation. The tactical display showed his fleet surrounded by human constructs and civilian vessels. Not prisoners of war, but debtors. The Empire owed the humans 3 billion credits and counting. "Admiral," said Tor hesitantly, "the human constructs are approaching our other ships." On screen, Bob's siblings moved toward the Callan warships with the same gentle determination. They weren't attacking. They were scanning, documenting, and occasionally reaching out to fix minor hull damage that the Callan crews didn't even know existed. "They're performing safety inspections," reported Lieutenant Dar in disbelief. "Margaret, the purple construct, just sent us a report listing 37 safety violations on the warship Conquest. They're recommending immediate repairs. Rex had started on his third sandwich. Yeah, Margaret's a stickler for safety protocols. Did you know your reactor shielding is substandard? Real hazard, that. Don't worry, though. She'll fix it for you. Free of charge. It's the neighborly thing to do. Stop this. Krell roared. We don't need your help. We don't need your safety inspections. We are conquerors. Were, corrected Jones. She looked sympathetic. Past tense. See, the thing about conquest is that it only works on people who play by conquest rules. Humans. We play by different rules. Rules involving forms, procedures, and automated systems that don't care how scary you are. A communication came through from the Empire's high command. Grand Admiral Zoc appeared on a private screen, his ancient face furious. Krell, what is this message I've received from something called the Terran Department of Collections? They're garnishing our imperial treasury? It's complicated, Grand Admiral, Krell said weakly. They've frozen our accounts, all of them. Even the secret ones. How did they even know about the secret ones? Jones waved from the main screen. Hi there. Grand Admiral, is it? Lovely to meet you. About those accounts, when your fleet attacked our civilians, it triggered an automatic audit. Bob's very thorough. Bob found some interesting discrepancies in your tax filings with the Galactic Council. We forwarded that information to the appropriate authorities. You audited the Empire? Grand Admiral Zoc's 3 eyes bulged. Just standard procedure, Jones said cheerfully. Section 91K of the Terran Defense Protocol. Any aggressive action triggers a complete financial review of the attacking party. It's for insurance purposes. You understand. The bridge of the Imperial Pride fell silent, except for the gentle humming of Bob, who was now carefully polishing their hull. The polish smelled like lavender. Why lavender? Asked Vex, defeated. Bob likes things to smell nice, Rex explained. Makes space feel more homey. A new alert appeared on Tor's console. Admiral, I'm receiving a message from our colonies. All of them. They're saying human trade ships have arrived. An invasion? Krell perked up. Finally, something that made sense. No, sir. They're selling things. Coffee, entertainment systems, insurance policies. Very reasonable prices. The colonists are. They're actually quite happy about it. Jones nodded. We figured, while we were in the neighborhood, might as well open trade relations. Your colonies have been sending requests for Earth products for years. We just couldn't deliver while you were being all threatening. Now that that's sorted? Sorted? Krell slumped in his throne. You've destroyed us without firing a single weapon. Destroyed? Rex looked genuinely puzzled. Admiral, we haven't destroyed anything. We find you, sure. Audited you, definitely. Given you some safety citations that really need addressing. But destroyed? Nah. In about 10 years, when you've paid off the fines, you can apply for a visa to enter Terran space. Legally this time. A visa, Krell repeated numbly. Form 23A, Jones said helpfully. Only 70 pages. Very straightforward. Grand Admiral Zoc cut the communication without another word. The Empire's retreat was swift and orderly. Bob and the other constructs helpfully cleared a path, making sure no ships collided in their haste to leave. As the last Callan ship crossed back into neutral space, Admiral Jones sent a final message. Thank you for visiting Terran space. Your feedback is important to us. Please rate your experience on a scale of 1 to 10. Forms have been sent to your communications officer. Tor looked at the form. It was 50 pages long. Captain Rex finished his coffee and stretched. Well, that was exciting. Same time next week? Probably, Jones replied. Someone always thinks they're different. They never read the warning signs. And in the vast emptiness of space, 3,000 civilian ships went back to their business, mining, hauling cargo, and being impossibly, infuriatingly, indestructibly human, *.